pioneered the orbital theory of the atom with my famous gold foil experiment, in which I discovered the Rutherford scattering of the nucleus. I am also sometimes called the father of nuclear physics.
Flash television.
Well, it all started when my assistant Hans Fraser and I began working on studying the effect of X-rays and various other types of rays. It found that a screen coated with zinc sulfide emitted a flash each time that it was hit by a particle. We found that a narrow beam of particles was broadened when it passed through each film of material. I decided to use gold because it was ductile and can be made into foil that is 400 thousandths of a centimeter thick. When the foil was exposed to the particles, the scattering was small. The results were very consistent with my expectations, and I know the particle has considerable mass and moves quite rapidly. I anticipated that the particles were able to penetrate the metal's foil. In other words, I predicted them to pass through a way a rifle bullet would pass through a bag of sand.
Day and night.
I proposed a model of the atom. I conducted that all the positive charge and essentially all the mass of the atom is concentrated in the infinitely small fraction of the total volume of the atom, which I call the nucleus.
Toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind. I look for peace, but see.
By measuring the fraction of the particles deflected through the large angle, I was able to estimate the size of the nucleus. The radius of the nucleus is 10,000 times smaller than the radius of the atom. After World War I proposed the name proton for the positively charged particles in the nucleus of the atom. I then proposed that there was a neutral particle in the nucleus called the neutron. It showed electrons circling around the nucleus like planets orbiting. I coined the term alpha and beta to describe the two different types of radiation emitted by uranium and thallium. I observed that radioactive material took the same amount of time for half of it to decay, known as its half-life. Rutherfordium, it is a synthetic element, which means it can only be created in a lab and not found in nature. In 1908, for my work on transmutation of element chemistry of radioactive material.
Time for a change.